Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff. That's Chip.
Got it right, Jeff.
Welcome.
Like
Welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about XRP. How high can it go? Will XRP replace the US dollar? That is what is on everybody's mind. And really, I want to know, how high is too high? How low is too low?
That's easy to figure that out. I'm sure we'll have plenty of suggestions from everybody in the chat and people that watch and the rewatch, and put it in the comments. But guys, also leave a comment down there. Really helps us out. You guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
All right.
Readjusting over here, Jeff.
Scott.
So there we go. So guys, got a little late today. Jeff and I were doing a little bit of work tonight. Just getting those badass Yetis ready for prime time, guys. Pretty excited about it. It will be launching very soon. As soon as we have a date, we will announce a date.
Very soon.
Then
we are getting super close.
Super close. So almost there. Guys, drop where you're from, the city, the country. We have a worldwide audience. We appreciate everybody who comes in here. And welcome to everybody tonight, except for anybody who from the Federal Reserve or the Treasury.
All are welcome.
Everyone's welcome. Even you're welcome. Come on in. Come on in.
Even those guys.
Hello to everybody. Not a problem. Yeah, Jeff. So, you know, what's interesting about this whole thing is this whole banking financial crisis that we're under, right?
Oh, which banking crisis?
Well, we heard there was a crisis. Then we heard, nope, no crisis. Don't worry, everything's fine. And all you can think about is that little meme of the dog having his coffee with everything burning down, right? That's how it feels like.
Perfect.
So we had this, the can came in. It says, Justin, President Biden says the banking crisis is not over yet. And there it is right there. It's not over yet. That guy doesn't know where he is, doesn't know who he is, but that's okay. I mean, here we go. So John Deaton commented on that. He said, well, I thought they said there was no crisis.
Right.
Right.
So if there's no crisis, no recession, no issues, everything's perfect.
It's transitory, Jeff. There's no inflation. It's transitory.
It's all transitory. Nothing's going on. We don't have anybody losing money. Nobody's overpaying for things.
No.
There's no supply chain issues. It's all just in your imagination. So get over it, because things are perfect and just amazing. And I'll show you how amazing they are, Chip, because, and I think you're pulling it up right there. You got that one up. So if you pull that article up, I'll pull up the counterbalance to it. And then we can flip-flop between the two, because this is a good counterbalance discussion.
It's a good one, yeah. So former Treasury official warns of complete economic implosion if the U.S. dollar loses global reserve currency status. And of course, the former Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs to the U.S. Department of Treasury, Monica Crowley, has warned of a catastrophic event consequences if the U.S. loses its status as the world reserve. Well, here's the thing, Jeff. It's losing it, and it's nearly lost. So a little late to the party here. That would mean the end of the U.S. dollar, predicting that. And honestly, I'm all in on this. You want to know why? Because it says the Federal Reserve note. It doesn't say U.S. dollar. It's not a U.S. sovereign dollar. It's a Federal Reserve note. It's a third-party entity, and we don't have any sovereign dollar. So I say we get rid of the Treasury. We get rid of all that stuff. We create our own digital one. So she warns of catastrophic consequences. Monica Crowley, she explained to Fox News on Saturday what would happen if emerging economies would move away from the U.S. dollar towards the Chinese yuan, and the USD is no longer the dominant currency. She stressed it's really hard to overstate exactly how catastrophic the abandonment of the U.S. dollar would be as the world's global reserve currency. You know, everyone always thinks the other side is greener. Sometimes it is, and most of the time you find out it's not, right? There's a whole counterbalance to this thing, but initially it was backed. So she says, she explained that after World War II, the dollar hasn't been considered a safe haven. Initially it was backed by gold, but after President Nixon took us off the gold standard, there's been no hard asset backing the dollar for the last 50 years. Instead, it's been backed by the strength of the economic power of the U.S., which is failing badly right now, Jeff. So
It's very it's very catastrophic considering that 2 years ago we were kind of on top of the world. Things were just moving along so perfectly. And here we sit, 2 years in, and it seems like the global markets are in complete disarray and complete meltdown. And while this is happening, there's a lot of scary things happening right now, Chip. And there's some bills that are being passed through Senate, or at least being that are in front of Senate. There is a bill that's being passed through Florida regarding CBDCs, and now there's some concern that that might undo digital asset. So there's some discussion over whether or not that's true or not. But what is true over all of this is,
well, hang on a second. Hang on a second. There's more. But wait, there's more,
but
Jeff.
this
There's
is your
more.
counterbalance.
But wait, there's more.
You're erasing my counterbalance.
No. Crowley continued. On top of that, you do have this perfect storm of Biden's weakness, his war on American domestic energy production, the Ukraine war. Because of all these things, we got America's enemies, led by China, forming a new economic bloc. That's now you can hit the counter, because that kind of sets the stage.
All right, read that one again.
Yo. Wait, what? Read this one again?
Yeah, so there's a part here: we've abused the privilege by wholly reckless monetary and fiscal policy for so many years, certainly over the last couple of years, which has really devalued the dollar. And then what you were saying with Crowley talking about China forming that new economic bloc, there's some real concern over the Belt and Road. And now here's the counterbalance. All that, everything is in meltdown. Here's what's interesting, Chip, is that as the global markets are in meltdown and there's so much concern over where the US dollar is, all of a sudden, these markets are getting crazy, right? So Bitcoin regaining 28,000, XRP surging, it's up 20%, 25%. XRP crossed that 55 cent, 56 cent threshold. I think it hit 57 cents for a little bit. And this is like a couple days running. XLM went over 10 cents, and we're talking about 14 to 20+% gains. And now here's big news that could be on the horizon with the SEC v. Ripple case. And there's a lot of commentary saying the SEC is going to lose this one. And there's another good point too. Look at this. A lot of people are missing out on how things used to be when gas was $1.87,
Right.
and gas costs you $80 to fill your tank, and go to the grocery store. It used to cost you $80. Now it costs you $180. Everything has
Ridiculous.
gone up. It's crazy,
Except people's salaries.
Right. Except people's salaries. And now look at how the dollar is deflating against these other assets. So if Bitcoin, exceeding, so now you can buy less everything with the US dollar and with the euro, but you can also buy less XRP, less Bitcoin. And then as this ridiculous parody of a case between the SEC and Ripple comes to a conclusion at some point in the future, near or far, in the not so near distant future, or not too far near future, things are going to, shift even more dramatically. I'm feeling this monumental change in the markets. There's a lot of discourse over CBDCs, and there's discussion over how the parts of the government in the world want to push it and how other people are trying to refrain from. Whereas the one conclusion, Chip, is decentralization.
That's it. That's where it's at. That's exactly where it's at. Look at Mike Brass says, what about the UAE getting away from the petrodollar, siding with Russia and China? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's happening globally. But what's so funny is be careful who you get in bed with, because it always sounds really cool in the beginning, but you know what? Sometimes it gets a little bit old real fast, and it's like you've got to choose your right bedfellow who you're going to be cuddling up to and saying everything's cool, because again, they always lure you in with the look at how great this is, but in the end, sometimes it's not that great, Jeff. I want to put this one up. Nat Britt says that I hear the narratives out there, and all I can say is that if a major economic shift is about to occur, I simply don't see it coming, despite a series of issues around the world. And that's what I like to call optimism, Jeff. I always like to feel like I'm in that same boat. Like, yeah, where we should be, right? I mean, it's pretty optimistic, yeah?
It's
I like the
very
way you think on
optimistic.
that. But see, the whole thing
Well,
about the dollar, though, Jeff, what is your take on this? Because everyone's like, oh, China and Russia. Now, Russia was smart. They went ahead and backed the ruble with gold. Smartest thing you could have ever done. We've heard the guy that's running coming up who's been talking about backing it by gold. But I think ultimately, we really want to kind of restart. But our restart looks very different than the WEF's restart, doesn't it, Jeff?
the WEF. It sounds like a wrestling.
It's more like the WTF.
So here's some thoughts on that. When you get into the global stage, if you get into any of these three-letter global agencies, the IMF, the WEF, or the UN, I guess that's two letters, typically they don't have the interest of anyone they're supposedly supporting. They don't have their interest at heart. But what they do have their interest are everyone, how much employment it makes and how much money is siphoned through these organizations. So whoever works there does pretty well, but everybody else they're supposedly quasi supporting doesn't. The big issue that I see on the ground between Russia and China, there's a lot of power moves. Chip, I sent you that brief video of the ex-CIA agent that was talking about the war in the Ukraine, and it's interesting to see people's different narratives and takes on it, where you tie up one entity in a extended conflict, whether that's true or not true. But the case with China, I find to be really, very interesting from a perspective that they're majorly manipulating the world stage right now. The U.S. has allowed themselves to be majorly manipulated. They're further going to manipulate the market because they rolled out the digital yuan, which puts a major rush on the side of all these other countries trying to play catch up, because China had also been working with the Belt and Road Initiative in Africa and other areas around Asia. And so they have a huge foot up. And someone here said that Mexico wants to join BRICS, and so you have some of these, countries that are falling in place or in line with what China and Russia are all about. Russia, I don't know, because we had Russia was in tatters on the ropes financially speaking, when oil was at an all-time low, because that's their only exportable asset other than weapons. And so then you have China, vodka too, and their vodka is good. But then you've got China, which has manipulated markets, has copyright infringements, has stolen everyone's intellectual property rights. They've allowed it to happen. They would have the branded product go out one door and the unbranded product go out the other door, until all of Amazon and Alibaba and everything else is just marketing the Chinese product. But the impact it's had economically, and I still say that 2 years ago or 3 years ago, before all this nonsense happened, China was at a point where they're probably maybe 10 years off from some sort of economic competitive advantage. This rolled out, they brought the world to the knees. China somehow was able to get a leg up above everybody else, artificially speaking, because the whole stage was manipulated. And now we're being manipulated again. And so this is where, Chip, we talk about freedom and decentralization and decentralized assets rings true amongst people that seek freedom, because we know what centralized control can do when they control your politic and they control your money. And that's where we stand. And we don't want our northern neighbor, who happens to be in Canada, to embrace the same ideology as they embrace in Cuba and in China. And we definitely don't want the resident of the White House to embrace that same ideology.
Amen on that, Jeff, says Mike. So I wanted to put a couple, there's been really good while you're going to that little tear there, Jeff. There's a lot of good comments I was checking out here. Let me see if I marked them. Thank God you can mark them, because otherwise you'd have no chance. John Doe Crypto says, I read a few articles covering what Nat Britt's bringing up, and it's noted that many countries like the stability of the system. It's been around for, and who knows what China will pull, the dollar system, and what they'll do. And so just like a little anecdote, it's like, I know that Chile and Argentina and a lot of countries in South America are flooded with Chinese products. And they are longing. They'll do anything. If anyone's going to the U.S., they will give, they'll cut off their finger or whatever, anything to get something shipped back that's a U.S. product, something made here, because they flooded the market with so much
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
It's cheap garbage too.
garbage.
It's
It's
nothing.
all garbage.
It's garbage. It's knockoff
Garbage.
stuff. And already you're starting to see, but they lured them in like, hey, we'll do this. We'll put up stores. We'll do, and everybody was,
Mhm.
now they're mad because they can't get good, goods that are like decent. I'm not saying like top of the line, but even decent, right? Jim D says, does anyone really believe the Chinese and Russians can manage their own currency? I mean,
No,
people forget how small Russia is as a country,
right.
how small the GDP is. And like you said, Jeff, the exports, like, and China is a powerhouse. A lot of this is theater too. It's like, oh, we're joining them. Good luck, because not everyone's going. And, you're still going to have to, I'm just kind of like toning it down a little bit here for that. But let's see what else we have here. Yeah. We have,
That one right there.
yeah, they asked for
Costa
stuff
Rica
to be,
too.
yeah, brought back to Costa Rica all the time. Everybody does, because it's garbage, the stuff that's there. Mark says, my bank gave me a free toaster. Congrats, Mark. That's awesome. They still give out toasters. Very easy. Hydroponics Allen says, I hate to say it, but China and Russia did us a big favor this year. They could have done it 2 years ago,
True.
but our bags would not be as big as they are today. So count that as a blessing. I always like how this crowd always sees, always looks on the
Positive.
bright side of the road. Little Monty Python there. John Doe says, Jim D, Russia's really going to open new windows when it comes to this space. Literally, they're going to push people out windows who don't know the financial narrative line. That's part of the deal. And Jim D here too. He says, at Allen, at least the Wall Street and the SEC, Fed, Treasury mobsters know how to game their own greed and control fetishes. The Chi-coms are a joke. Yeah, the Chinese communists, the China coms. Look, you got to imagine what you're dealing with here. They go for blood. They what looks like a nice little fun trip is not a nice little fun trip. What you got there, Jeff? Pulling it up.
No, so I'm just putting this up kind of in reference to the entire conversation, right? So here's the world's going is chaotic, and everything that we've said over the past couple of years as markets have gone into meltdown, and so whether that was in Lebanon or in parts of South America and Venezuela and other countries around the world, they embrace digital asset. Even when digital assets were at a high, even when they're at the low, they're embracing the digital asset because there's still some concern even over the US dollar. If they can't get, how do you get that fiat? All right. But they found a way to move money digitally into a centralized environment. And so we're starting to see the ramification of that also. So as the market touched, I think it was 1.2 trillion, people, there's a sense, as far as I'm concerned, there's a sense that people are looking for safety. They want a safety net. When the government tells you that they're going to protect you and you should go into their digital currency, I think people around the world have spoken and they're very, very concerned over what that means. They're concerned over their own government. Why would they allow a foreign government to now dictate the term of your money? And that's exactly what a lot of these smaller countries, and, if you look at parts of Africa, they don't want to be abused by an external force. And so here you have China coming in, like you said, whether it was in the Middle East or whether it was in Africa or whether it was in Latin America, the Chinese companies came in and dumped their cheap products in large quantities all over the place. And people are pissed off in every industry across the board. They've upset everybody, and people are now seeking, at the end, people want quality. If they have money to afford the quality, they want to buy quality, and people want quality asset. They want quality to protect their money. XRP moving up 29% in the past 7 days. Bitcoin up 3.7%. How are other currencies faring right now? Everything is in the dumps, so we look at, the top, if we go look at the top 10, but then you look at some of these others that are, so you're starting to see a little bit of movement, even Litecoin, even the Shiba Inu up 0.7%. It's up 2.4% in the last 24 hours. So, that's the point. Look at that cap, 1.23 trillion. The market's up 3% in the last 24 hours. That's the direction. That's where people's sentiment is leaning right now. To me, that is a net positive, but that really, really means something too. And that's where Chip, look at this comment here from Mercy Coca, says, what happens when market cap is 5 trillion?
Right. Damn right. What happens? Look at this, Jeff. So I going on Twitter. I heard the U.S. dollar was trending, but everybody sees different stuff. But if you look at this, I was just like looking at what's so you got Mr. Beast, rest in peace, Marty, and I like, oh my gosh, who's Marty? Dollar General. They have to change it to the $10 General. That's probably what they're complaining about. Stanford Gensler is tweeting is trending right now. Free Top G, Hodl, Tezos, Marlins, Hezbollah. If you guys don't know Hezbollah, I laugh so hard at Hezbollah. He's fantastic. But look at this. So I go over to, I go, what is this rest in peace Marty all about? Well, apparently this guy said yesterday I had to say goodbye to a friend, and he was telling the whole story about see you later Marty. And some guy says, like, look, I saw rest in peace. She says, I saw rest in peace Marty trending. I clicked to see who Marty is. Marty's a cat I never known. And then yet this made me sad. And cats are magical, and they steal a piece of your heart, and you'll never get it back. And they'll teach you about kindness, compassion, and love. You're lucky if you were ever chosen by a cat. By the way, who's Marty again? This is cat right here. No more. Seems like a good looking fellow right there. So there you go, Jeff. I was looking around to see what, I don't know.
Marty. James L says XRP goes over $3. I'm going to buy my own barrel of Maker Markers or Dickel. Been wanting to do that for some time. So there you go. That is when you're rolling in the dough. So you got Kelly. So Gary Gensler was in today, right? He was hauled in front of Congress. I didn't see anything. I saw it was today at 2:30. I saw Eleanor Terrett, tweeted earlier this morning that he was going to testify in front of the House Appropriations Committee about his $2.4 billion budget request for 2024. There was a live stream. There's some stuff going on, but that was it. I didn't see anything. I don't even have the tweet lined up except for on my phone.
I have it
lined up. Do you have that one? And John Deaton says, if they don't ask him how much of the $2.4 billion, what percentage is for crypto enforcement, they're not doing their job. Ellie, there is a breakdown somewhere of how the funds are allocated. So if we can find that, and she actually found it. So I'm going to share this tweet in the Keep so we can pull that up if you don't have it.
Share it, Jeff.
I thought this
one was
fresh off the presses.
Oh, it is? Okay, hang on a second. Put it on the very top then. Eleanor Terra put this out. She says, 30 minutes in, and the most interesting thing that's come out of the House Appropriations Committee SEC budget hearing is that the ranking member, Steny Hoyer, is Gary Gensler's godfather, Jeff.
What?
Steny Hoyer is Gary Gensler's godfather. You know what, man? They keep it all, and it's just like one big club, Jeff. One big club of corruption.
Dude, it's like NASCAR. They keep it in the family. Formula One, all the big races. They have all the racing families.
Where did you toss that?
Same like the wrestling families. I just pulled it up here. Let me put it over here, and then we're going to see what we have to see over here.
There we go.
So this is the 2024 $2.4 billion in requests. 2.4 billion. Let's see. These are the total cost, 761,000. Let's see if this is accurate. Let's see. Here it is. 50 additional positions. I don't see the 2.4 billion, but let's see what we got.
It's all broken up in there, I guess. It's all broken up in there. There's your financial 2022 actual.
What are these though? Is this money or complaints?
Cost. There's your workload, investor tips and complaints, opened and award, administrative open.
That has nothing to do with
civil
money.
Litigation. There you go. Civil litigation, 231.
I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's money or if that's numbers or I don't know.
Yeah,
what
it's in millions, I think is what it is.
For the fiscal year 2024, ENF requests 50 additional positions. These positions will enhance ENF's ability to timely pursue the wide variety of misconduct within the SEC's remit, including misconduct involving new and emerging issues such as crypto assets, cybersecurity, and other priority areas. ENF also requires additional resources to ensure that it has an adequate number of trial attorneys to staff the increasing number of litigated cases. The additional positions
Suckers.
will also help argument augment resources and market surveillance, the Office of the Whistleblower, and Operation Support. Bunch of, man, oh man. I'll tell
Bunch of
you what.
garbage, Jeff.
Yeah.
Just a
Got
bunch
a
of
bunch.
garbage.
You know what you get when you put garbage in?
Garbage
You get a
out.
bunch of garbage out. So
Garbage
here it
in,
is.
garbage
Oh,
out.
here you go. It's official. It was signed March 13th by Gary the Man.
Gary Doofus boy.
What is their mission, Chip? Their mission is to protect investors, maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and facilitate capital formation. Have they done any of that? I mean,
Not even close, Jeff. They don't even know what the mission is anymore. No one even calls them on it. Jeff, I've been watching some of these hearings,
it's
like
so
the best
straightforward.
clips on there. They're judges. They were asking them basic questions, like they didn't even know like basic law, like stuff that's on like just like basic stuff. They're like, I haven't come across that. How could you not have come across that? So like every time they ask them a question, are you familiar with this? Do you know about this rule? Nothing. They're like, no, nobody knows about anything. It's like, just give them the job. I mean, is it? Are they qualified? No.
Well,
Just
look
put
at
'em in
their
there.
values. One of their values is integrity.
Geez, that's out.
We we inspire public confidence and trust by adhering to the highest ethical standards.
They inspire
This is such a
public confidence.
joke.
Not even close, Jeff. They de-inspire. Come on.
Excellence. We're committed to excellence in pursuit of our mission on behalf of the American public.
Sounds like a government agency you're reading about.
Oh my God. And they get through their blah, 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 blah. Look at this. It gets super confusing with the commissioners. Look at all these unelected bureaucrats. Look at how much money we just have sunk into all of this. Imagine you kind of get rid of all of this fat. I'm sure there's some stuff that, but these are offices. How many people are working within each one of these offices, and then what do you need this guy for? That's the chair. What is he doing exactly?
You don't need any of that stuff, Jeff.
Then look how many offices they have. Boom. They got Miami, Atlanta, SEC's over there somewhere. Look at that. Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Chicago, Salt Lake City, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Denver, and they're all over the place.
Jeff, the good news is AI will be able to accomplish a lot of this stuff. So it won't take all these bureaucrats sitting in chairs and making a lot of money. It's like in DC, the highest paid people in Washington, DC, they're all working for the government. They're on the government dole, Jeff. It's ridiculous. That's a lot of numbers. Can we move on to something else? This is really boring to me.
It really is. I was hoping
I
there'd
wanted to
be
read all
something
this, Jeff.
interesting.
Seems like a college project. I got to
nothing
research.
interesting in here.
This is more like the stuff I do every day. I'd rather not look at all these
we're
numbers.
just getting started.
I just want to look at images,
yet.
Jeff. I want to look at pictures, something funny.
They didn't even put any pictures in this.
That's so silly.
They should have at least put a couple of pictures on each page.
Eleanor Terrett says, new Gary Gensler expected to testify before the House Financial Services Committee on April 18th. This is according to reporting by Politico Pro. So who knows if that's true or not, but something really interesting. Remember our pal Lionel El Diablo? Do you know who he is? Yeah. So let's
El
put this
Diablo.
K-Hood. It's from the government. I read it. I must believe it. Yeah. And they're here to help us too, K-Hood. So there's that too. So according to that, but check this out, Jeff. I saw this picture right here. He said, check out our lemons. They are huge. And this is Lionel's mom. But look at that lemon tree. That is super proud. I'm proud of this. Look at that. That's his mom. Look at the size of that lemon. Now, either she's an extraordinarily, look at the size of that lemon, Jeff.
That's a massive lemon with a massive lemon tree.
Look at all these, look at all the lemons that are going to be on this tree. Look at them all popping through here. There's a whole bunch of them. It puts ours to shame, Jeff.
Man, ridiculous. I need a lemon tree like that in my backyard, and then I'll be all set.
That's a big lemon tree, man. I like that. All those lemons, my gosh. God bless your mom. Holy cow.
Man, XRP Chevy 954, Broward County in the house over here. Hey, neighbors, God bless my Florida buds, Chip and Jeff. Let's flip the switch. These minor pumps are a tease. They are a tease. We got to get through. We got to get through it.
Look at this, Jeff.
We've got to get through it. What have you got?
Ripple Chief Tech Officer David Schwartz makes a case for XRP's value as collateral. And there he is right
God.
there. XRP buyback theory resurfaces again. But
Oh
with a
no.
twist. So Valhill Capital
Oh
Managing
no.
Director Jimmy Valley proposed
No.
a new variation of the XRP buyback theory. It was sparking debates over the viability of using XRP as collateral. These debates have prompted a response from Ripple Chief Tech Officer David Schwartz. As highlighted in previous reports, Valley proposed the XRP buyback theory in 2021. It's a theory based on the assumption that XRP would become the world's reserve currency. Following this assumption, Valley posted that the governments must own a large amount of XRP, re-necessitating the proposed buyback. So the securities lawyer suggested that this buyback would not happen on the secondary market, but as at an agreed fixed price similar to the buyback of gold when the U.S. backed the dollar back in the 30s when the high valued commodity with the highly valued commodity. Considering XRP's limited supply and the fiat supply, Valley placed the value of one XRP between, get this, Jeff, 37,500 and 50,000. Why not just 50,000 and 100,000? Why are we playing games here with this small stuff? Unsurprisingly, the price estimate and the theory have sparked discussions over the years. So now, in an interview on Thursday, Valley suggested a new proposal where instead of selling to the government, XRP holders use their holdings as, drumroll please, collateral for a bank tentatively dubbed the People's Bank. Now, Jeff, am I wrong in assuming the People's Bank is located in China? Isn't it the People's? Don't they call it the People's Bank over there? Isn't that what it's called? Is that me or isn't that the CCP calls it? Right, it's called the People's Bank. Thank you very much. Yeah, the People's Bank. So now we'll have the CCP Bank called the People's Bank. While not to appear to be paying mind to Valley's latest scheme, it's had debates over whether XRP is a suitable asset for collateral. XRP ledger validator Ripple and NZ unwittingly kicked off debate by asserting that XRP had no value to lend or borrow against. I wonder if anyone's told Jimmy that XRP has no value to borrow or lend against. The validator tweeted adding, how do you use it as collateral? So to buttress his point, Ripple and New Zealand claim that the collateral must have redemption value. On the other hand, he asserts that XRP only has value when it's in transit from a holder to a buyer. For context, a redemption value is a price at which an issuing company can repurchase stock before maturity. Schwartz responded to Ripple and New Zealand arguments in a series of tweets yesterday, pointing out that the company only repurchases its stock at redemption value when it's contractually required. Otherwise, like other buyers, it purchases the stock at fair market price, determined by demand and supply factors, just like the value of XRP. Consequently, the value is not guaranteed. But Jeff, I guess you had to say it, but does it really need to be said? I mean, I guess, right?
I'm still trying to figure out, kind of like D. Haviland is saying, I don't see the government wanting to pay for,
of course not,
for retail XRP, more likely laws to confiscate it. So I think about this. I'm like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this idea of the buyback. I just don't get it. I don't understand what's going to motivate the U.S. government to buy back and it's not buy back, it's just buy, right? There's no buyback.
Right. You had to have
never
it
gave it to you. Right. They never gave it to her. They never sold it, or they never circulated it. They never produced it. So there's no buyback. Now,
sounds
you
good,
could
though.
argue.
It sounds like, oh, they're going to buy it back. Okay. Sounds good.
Ted's Life saying it's just clickbait. The whole buyback idea is clickbait. But in 1933, Roosevelt ordered all gold coins and gold certificates in denomination of more than $100, turned in for other money, right? So they wanted all of this. Then they wanted all, and they set the price of gold, and wasn't there all these things going on in 1933, right? So there's a whole gold standard.
The whole 30s was a washout, Jeff. You had going from 1929 into the war, it was just a mess.
So it required all persons to deliver all gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates owned by them to the Federal Reserve by May 1st for the set price of $20.67 per ounce. By May 10th, the government had taken in 300 million of gold coin and 470 million of gold certificates. 2 months later, a joint resolution of Congress abrogated the gold clause in many public and private obligations that required the debtor to repay the creditor in gold dollars of the same weight and fitness as they borrowed. So, and then in 1934, they increased it to $35 an ounce. So, people are looking back and say, well, something like this happened before. Was there an artificial price set to gold back then when they set it at $20.67 an ounce? Did they raise it, lower it? Could the gold per ounce gone higher than that if they didn't set it and, set that price to say, hey, everything is now going to be leveraged against the gold? Was there benefit for the Federal Reserve to take possession of that gold? Is there benefit right now, let's say, for the Federal Reserve to take possession of XRP? And if they take possession of XRP, why wouldn't they necessarily try to take as much, of other asset? Why wouldn't they take Bitcoin or, another asset? Why would it be specifically XRP? Obviously, we know a lot of the reasons. I'm just throwing these questions out there, but you really start thinking about it. Why wouldn't they just roll out their own digital dollar and say, hey, everything's now digital?
I don't know. It already is digital. So, I mean, this whole thing about a digital dollar is absolutely silly anyway, I think. It's absolutely silly. Jeff, I wanted to kind of segue here a little bit.
What's that law when they take your land away?
Oh, that's when they're putting through a highway, you mean? What's that called? When they eminent domain.
Eminent domain. So is there something like that for asset? Well, now they're calling for strict enforcement. There's all sorts of things going on right now. They want to take away your gas stoves. They don't want you to have a gas stove.
We don't care.
Crazy.
We don't bend the knee, Jeff. We don't really care. So we're all good. Everyone's good.
Also,
it's all good.
That didn't go over so well for them.
Yeah, we're not dealing with that. Not dealing with it. Don't care. I'm trying to find this video. Look at this. So Jeff, Howard Schultz. You guys knew who Howard Schultz is. He was the founder of Starbucks. And so he was in a hearing and had this exchange right here, Jeff. And I think it captures so much in what he's saying, because there's so much what I'm trying to get at. Let me see what I'm gonna say. There's so much demonization of successful people. Now, when I remember grew up in a small town, the person that lived in our town who was successful, I wanted to be like that person. I wanted to be just like him. Super successful, came from nothing, came from absolutely nothing, built a nice business, built a nice home, right? You wanted to be like that. So this whole idea of ripping people down and not trying to emulate exactly and follow in their footsteps. But here is Howard Schultz, and just look at how he's treated in this hearing. You don't see the stuff that happens before, but they say a lot of garbage stuff. But let's just listen in on this. And funny thing is, I find this funny because he's a blue team member, talking to blue team members. And I'm not sure he's still a blue team member. I don't know. I wonder, based on what he's saying here. But let's go.
Thing you said, and it's been said many times by the chairman, I just want to make a point of that. This monarch of billionaire, let's just get at that, okay? I grew up in federally subsidized housing. Let me finish. I grew up in federally subsidized housing. My parents never owned a home. I came from nothing. I thought my entire life was based on the achievement of the American dream. Yes, I have billions of dollars. I earned it. No one gave it to me. And I've shared it constantly with the people of Starbucks. And so anyone who keeps labeling this billionaire thing, it's
Mr. Schultz, I don't mean to cut you off. We have time. I'm not cutting you off.
It's your moniker constantly. It's unfair.
No, it is not. You have had more time. I've been generous with the time. I'm sorry.
We
have panel to go after you. You're not the only.
By the way, this bonehead right here, you got to see him in his younger years, okay? The dopiest guy you've ever seen has never had a job, Jeff. His only job has been Congress. He never worked an honest day in his life. He lived in his parents' house, and so this guy's never done an honest day's work.
Never.
anything. He's a complete
Nothing.
dirtbag loser who, ran for president. He cuts him off. Look, I get there's a lot of people there, but you can't give him like his due to say, hey, listen, man, back the F off, sit down, shut your mouth. He came from subsidized housing. His parents never owned a home, right? He came from dirt poor. He's like, yeah, I got billions. I earned it. Nobody gave it to me. This guy's a moron. My God, what a moron. What a squadooch.
Room full of people. We have panel to go after you.
Fine,
You're not the only
fine.
person testifying.
They're not the only person. You got to put with the room and the people. There's a lot of people here. And did you see how snippy that one rep was? He's like, no, give me a second. Let me see look at the look on her face.
Go back. Hey, rewind.
The last thing you
Just
said,
fast.
and it's
Oh,
been
no,
said
fast
many times by the chairman, I just want this monarch of billionaire, let's just get at that, okay? I grew up in federally subsidized housing. Let me finish. I grew up in federal.
Look at that. Yeah.
Like they demonize people that have made something of themselves. Jeff, everybody in the world aspires to be like this, but you've got all these people with all this angst and this envy who want to come at people. And especially if you look at Schultz and you look at what he's accomplished and you look at what the programs he's put in place for workers, he's pioneered so much, created 400,000 plus jobs from nothing. And these weasels who are supposed to work for us are sitting there demonizing a man who's made a success and it continues to operate as a philanthropist. They can go to hell, Jeff. I'm sorry. That's my, oh, geez, here we go. There we go, Jeff. They can go to hell. What do we got here? Look at Alex D Vlogs. XRP to the moon. OTC, boys.
And this
Moon, no. I don't give an F what you do with your money. That's Alex D's. Alex D has the best catchphrase out of all the YouTubers, bar none. I don't give an F what you do with your money. And he screams it. Lately, he's been screaming in his videos, and I love it. I love when you just get on there and start screaming. It's super exciting. Appreciate that, Alex D. And you should catch Alex D. He does one of these type of shows with. I've only seen a couple of them because they're on at some ungodly time. But go give Alex D a follow, guys, right now. You will not be disappointed. He has pick me up videos. You're gonna feel good about it. Give him a follow. Bald spot. I wasn't gonna say that, Jeff. I didn't mean to click on that, but did you see that? Did you notice that in that video? I wasn't going to say it.
These people.
Don't you say it.
Man. I don't even know where to go with these nut jobs.
Against and Bernie Sanders. And listen, over there, we got a room full of people over here. We got you over there. It's like old man yelling at somebody like he can't even spend 30 seconds reading these guys the riot act. It's just disrespectful, man. It really is. Are you going to read this comment, Jeff? Is that what you put up there?
I didn't put it up. Well, I might have mistakenly put it up. I don't know. But, I don't get it. There's unfortunately, you have a lot of politicians who happen to be Jewish that adhere to the Democrat Party. You don't get enough, time. You don't get enough media attention for those that are on the Republican side, that are on the red team. There's a lot of Jews that are on the red team that don't adhere to the insanity. But these guys stand out, and it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
Because they're just nut jobs. But, religion aside, it shouldn't really matter, because if you look across the spectrum of the Democrat Party, there's a good mix of nut jobs, including Christians, Jews, and Muslims. So let's lump them all together and just call them all a bunch of
Kelly Vallier. Thank you so much, Kelly. Appreciate you. Get all you guys with the super chats tonight. Alex D, and of course K Hood. Super appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Jeff. I mean, you should never really single out. I mean, I think there are nutters pretty much everywhere. And if you even look at look at Israel, what's going on right there. You got a color guard, and guess who's backing it? The U.S. The U.S. You got basically, you have Bibi over there, Bibi Netanyahu, who is trying to like fend off the crowd. And you know what's so funny, Jeff, when they take pictures and then like you see the picture posted somewhere, there's always like the same three things that are appearing in them, because we see those in everywhere. It's almost like it was, I don't know, induced. I mean, it almost seems like such a fakery. It's like just getting the crowd riled up, and then they're trying to say, and this is the second time. The last time the blue team was in the White House, they tried to do another color guard uprising, right? The same type of thing. I don't get it. I mean, it's supposed to be one of our strongest allies, and this is how it's just this. There's so much disrespect, Jeff. It's amazing how the U.S. disrespects so many countries at the same time. Incredible.
Incredible.
Incredulous.
But thank you, Kelly, for your support. Thank you,
Look at this right here.
Federally subsidized housing. My parents never owned
look at that
a
look.
home.
There you go. There you go. Let me get that out of there for good. I wanted to put this thing up. Removed from the studio. Yeah, I don't want to put that back up. But I just came across that today. I'm like, man, there's just everybody's disrespectful. You can't respect somebody who's done really well. I mean, I don't get it. Check this out. Scam, bankrupt, fraud, charged with bribing Chinese government officials. So this is a new charge, Jeff. So the FTX founder now faces a total of 13. 13 is the lucky number here. Criminal charges in connection with the collapse of the crypto exchange. By the way, it's okay if you're a bank and you loan out money, or you take depositors' funds and put it somewhere, because you put it in government bonds. That's well done. If you're a crypto exchange and you loan out things and lose the money, then off with the head, Jeff. It's amazing the contradiction here. Prosecutors allege that Bankman-Fried directed $40 million in cryptocurrencies to one or more Chinese government officials in order to influence them to unfreeze accounts owned by FTX's sister trading firm, Alameda Research. Now, Jeff, what's the over under on the fact that he did the same thing with U.S. politicians? I mean, come on.
Yeah, there's a
on
really
a scale
good,
of yes or no.
Well, on a scale of no, it isn't even on the isn't even on the scale
of yes or yes. I mean,
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's asinine what's going on. Man, I don't even, where do we even go from this point other than into a decentralized framework? What's interesting about this though is, okay, he's being accused now of bribing Chinese officials. Oh, that's right. The resident of the White House's son also happens to be accused of some interesting doings with some Chinese companies and some others. There's other, what was that? It's that guy, that one senator or a congressman that happened to be dating a Chinese spy.
Yeah. Bang.
There seems right. There seems to be a lot of that going around. I don't want to name names, but they seem to be singling out Scam Bankman-Fried, for his dealings with the Chinese officials, as he dealt with many on the blue team and some on the red team, and he gave out millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to U.S. politicians, as he did to probably politicians in many parts of the world, as he's trying to grease the wheel, so to speak.
And look at this,
support
Jeff.
Here from 3NA.
3NA, appreciate that. Thank you so much. Look at this. He said, allegedly hired attorneys to lobby the government, ask the exchanges to unfreeze the funds, and then open new trading accounts under false names. By 2021, Bankman-Fried caused the bribery payment of about $40 million to be transferred from Alameda's main trading account to private cryptocurrency wallet. At the same time, Alameda's exchange accounts were unfrozen. Jeff, that's what's known in the industry as pay for play, and it happens all the time. Here's what it looks like here in the U.S. Shows up, it's like, so you have a failed, washed up politician who, there's a lot of like, everyone says how excited and great and this person was. Then what they do is they sell a book. They get paid $13 or $14 million. Nobody buys the book, but a company buys all the books and has them destroyed somewhere, whatever, right? So somebody buys, so on top of it, they buy the books, they pretend. So that's how you wash it right now. That's how you do the pay for play. Now you write a book, you get paid $20 million. Then you go
get
back on the back end, you buy a bunch of them up, so it trends for like
a little bit.
a New York Minute on the
Get-
New York Times bestseller list, and then you go to Costco and you can't. And they're like giving them away at the door, and you can't give them away. Nobody wants it. It's like 99 cents. It's in the
That's
like
when
the
Chip, when Obama was running for president, he was writing a book, and it was a multi-million-dollar book deal, and they fronted him $1 million. But that's because he was running for president and didn't really have a salary and didn't have a lot of savings at the time. I think his net worth, if you look it up, was relatively small in comparison.
60
Um,
grand.
Yep. And so you're 100% right. And this is how they would wash money. So, hey, you do the right thing and we'll buy your books, or paint some paintings and we'll buy your paintings.
That too. Wait,
That
you're an
too,
artist? Hell yeah. I'm an artist.
Hell yeah, I'm an artist.
They wanted to
Come and buy
disclose
my
who bought
painting.
those. Oh no, we can't tell you who bought them. Oh, why not? That's a
Check it out. We have a listener in Slovakia. How cool is that?
Oh, Slovakia loves our channel. Man, I'm telling you what, Jeff, a lot of gratitude. Hey,
Now
HUD,
made
in
it.
10 years, James Bond will look like SBF. I don't think it's going to take 10 years. I do agree that it's going to get pretty. Shit. What do you say? I think you're onto something there, but maybe it takes less than 10 years. Maybe the hairdo's bigger. I don't know. It's it's funny to think about, Jeff.
As Crypto G said, open a laser tag facility. Is that also a way to funnel money? You bring up your espionage partners into the laser tag, play a little laser tag, and pay high bills. Is that how that works?
It's all like it's mostly all pay for play. It's like it's all happening supposedly above board, but people know what's going on. We weren't born yesterday. We
They
weren't born
know.
last night. Come on, man.
They all partake.
Come on, man.
Yep. They all partake. The crypto camper. Good evening, my Yeti tribe.
Oh, thank you
Look
for
at that.
bringing up Yetis.
The Yetis.
I'm gonna bring some Yetis up here, Jeff.
Bring up a couple. If you guys haven't seen the Yetis yet, the Yetis are a cool little bunch. I think you guys will appreciate them. The Yeti project is coming together very nicely, and we will be launching it very soon. It is in the hands of the right people to make the right things happen. And so, as Chip is trying to find some new and interesting Yetis to go through, the process has been very, very enjoyable. We also realized that as you go through that process, it's not easy in any way, shape, or form. But anyhow, Oscar Marson, what is up from Iceland? What's going on way over there in Iceland?
Oscar, I was a little harsh on you the other day, man. I'm sorry about that. It just caught me at a bad time. I was like, I flipped out. It just was like it was a timing thing, man. I just sorry about that, man.
The country of the short days. Laser tag, tanning beds. It's all for Laundry Monday. There you go. That's another one. I like, man. It's so great. Just like, yeah, we had a busy day.
First of all, I want to hear what you guys really think of these Yetis. I want to hear you guys throw a comment in there after we start scrolling through them. Show me talk about ones you like. We'll talk about the different ones. If you don't like them, that's fine. If you don't like it, keep it to yourself. That's not a bad idea.
Mark says, I haven't seen them Yeti. Show me, damn it.
I like that. I see what you did there.
I see
what you did there.
I haven't seen them Yeti. That is good. That is pretty funny.
I see what you did there. I get that. Yeah. All right. Hang on. I don't know
how much XRP is too much XRP? That is the question that has been asked for generations upon generations. How much XRP is actually too much XRP? That's what we'd like to know. Are we going to have Yeti cups? You know what? What about Yeti coolers?
Yeah, we got to be careful of that, Jeff.
We do have to be very careful of that. There'll be no Yeti cups and no Yeti coolers. These are badass Yetis.
A little bit different, man. So let's throw them up there, guys. Drum roll, please. Here we go. So here we are, guys. These are the Spirit Walker tribe right here. So we're releasing the blue tribe. There's gonna be 589 of them. Okay, so it's a very finite number, and they're broken up into 7 clans. The 7 clans are the Titans, Pathfinders, Templars, Frostbeards, the Shiver Spines, the Mentalists, and what you're looking at right now are the Spirit Walkers. There's another Spirit Walker right there. That is one of the Mentalists.
Mentalist kick ass.
Another Mentalist. These are the Shiver Spines, and they're
terrifying.
They are terrifying. Shiver Spines there. Then we get into the Frostbeards. Then next up, we've got the Templars. Finally, we got the cute little Pathfinders.
They're cute and cuddly.
Cute and cuddly, and will rip your throat out in 3 seconds. And then, of course, we finish off with none other than the Titans. So there you go. Let's walk through them again. There they are. The Badass Yetis NFT series. Finally, after so many years of talking about it, Jeff, we're actually getting to it. Super excited about it. Let's see some comments.
Getting
We got
so
any comments
close.
on there?
Not Yeti.
We got a cool. What else do you have in there?
Yeti Halloween costumes.
Let's see. Yes, red eyes. Red eyes are cool. Yeah, looks amazing. Yeah, glad to hear the comments, guys.
It is very cool. Very, very cool.
Anybody, by the way, just out of curiosity, anybody watching the How to Hunt channel right now?
That's a good channel.
I've not seen it, but sounds good. I don't think you mean like now. I mean like because I'm be watching it. I thought you're
watching it in general. Have you ever seen the How to Hunt channel?
No, I haven't seen it yet, Jeff. Is it good?
I don't know. We will have to tune in.
I've not seen it. I don't know anything about it.
One mentalist looks like David Schwartz.
Let's see this. Let's see which one looks like Schwartzy. Maybe we'll earmark one for Schwartzy.
Yeah. Dash said, I think they look awesome. See that? Finger flex. How do you get them? Which one is Schwartz?
Is it this one or this one?
Is it A or B?
This one here.
Yeah, that one looks like David Schwartz. There you go. He's got the crazy hair. Yep, he's got the red eyes.
Probably Schwartzy. David Schwartz. There you go. Freaking hairs everywhere, falling all over the damn place. Yeah.
That's it. That's awesome. We're excited about it. It was very, very cool.
Yeah, it's exciting. Hopefully the collection sells out. 589. It's not like it's a whole ton of them. We're not doing 10,000, but again, this is the first release. We're releasing the Blue Tribe. 589. Where did we get that number from, Jeff?
I don't know. We pulled it out of thin air. And then thin air. just like that, we invented it. You heard it here first. And then we invented 589.
We will set the floor price. You'll know how many XRP they cost each. They're all the same price. You go in there, and when you go mint one, you'll get a random one. So hopefully you can, get one of your collection. You get all 7 of them. And don't peace. And also, too, guys, what we'll be doing is we will be doing giveaways here and on Twitter as well. So help spread the word, and we'll be giving away a bunch of them away as we get into it. So hopefully we're just waiting. We're like 95% there. So
95. We've got some final things to do. Jim D said, needy Yeti Fed money printer chairman spewing ice cold fiat currency with a moneymaker accessory.
I'd love to see that. Yeah, one of these little badass Yetis going to town. Wow, how much fun would that be? And it will be released on the XRPL. So there you go, guys. It's not going to be OpenSea or
Michael Murphy said we need a Yeti verse. Interesting fact. We actually wrote an entire backstory and white paper on
cool,
a Yeti
Jeff.
verse.
Be cool to see people coming in here. We see like the bull right there. We see Oscar's got his picture of it. Imagine people come in here and they've got the Yeti faces. I mean, it'd be cool to see that too. But Jeff, something else we haven't talked about is that each Yeti has an original name that's not duplicate.
Sorry, what are some of the Yeti names? Let's see.
Well, Jeff, funny you should ask. I'll have to pull it up. Do you have it handy there?
I don't. I thought I had it open, but I do not. But while we're going through that, so the crypto camper says, do trivia night again, Jeff, with Yetis as prizes. We used to do a trivia night about 3 years ago.
Yeah, with the crypto camper. I remember that. But he was when he's in the crypto RV guy back then. Like, some of the names are like Varger, Colgrim, Vargulf, Holgen, Sklarlir, Frostclaw, Hjorter. They have all, don't worry, the pronunciation's next to him. So if you guys get hung up at all, Skolmold, Fjorgen, Elginar, just schooled.
That's very, very cool.
Verdeni.
They all have names. They all have very cool names. Different. So we're launching the Blue Tribe, different clans within the tribe. And then once this one, then we have the next tribe will be coming. We haven't decided which one it is yet, but that's good. It could be the Purple Tribe. Not 100% sure.
Could be.
Purple Tribe. That's all we got.
White Tribe and a Black Tribe.
Yeah, that'll be very cool. And that's all we got. So we are right here with you guys Sunday, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Big shout out to everyone who supported us on today's show with a super
really
chat.
Appreciate it.
Big shout out to all of our On the Chain members like Legendary and Jim D and Michael Murphy and all of you guys that are here. XP Market, big supporters, ongoing supporters. You guys are great. Everyone in the chat, amazing. You guys are by far the best and the brightest in all of the YouTube crypto space. We got this small, tight-knit, amazing community that comes on 3 days a week with us, hangs out, has fun, gets to know each other, and great commentary. We have the show behind the show as we watch and we read the commentary. So,
oh yeah, we do. I was just thinking about Jeff.
You're thinking again?
I was thinking we should play our open, the 26-second version of it. This is original open. Right here.
Welcome to On the Chain with Jeff and Chip.
That's almost like I can almost take a nap. That's so long.
Thank you. And good night.
Thank you and good night. My goodness, that's a long one there.
That was long.
So that's it, guys. We haven't played that in forever. So that's all we have. So what do we go with? We go to the new open, the new close, the new outro, or the older outro? What do we got? A vote in there? What are we gonna?
Well, you just did the intro, and that was long. There's not that many people left, so let's
people
go.
Like the show just started.
Yeah, people are like, we're just showing up. Let's do it. And we're over time.
What are we doing?
Hour 3. Pick one. Go long.
Okay, we'll do this one.
Go for the Hail Mary.
Well, is that the old one? I think it's the old outro.
The old one. Let's go with the old.
Sean Thompson, I was waiting for you to chime in, man. You love that old one. I was just waiting for him to come in there and say, want the old one? Here it is for Sean Thompson. There you go. See you guys on the next one. Chip and Jeff out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.